let's just go from start to finish. A lot of you guys are asking us about how flawless block works and what some of the applications are. Let's just go into it now, and we'll just get stuck into it. So the first things first is it is the gaps in the game. The game doesn't have traditional armor, so the flawless block seems to be kind of like the way of dealing with gaps now. If strings have a gap, it's probably because they're plus on block in some way. For example, the first demonstration will be Scorpion's forward 3-4 will crushing blow and special cancel if it counter hits or punishes. Which means if I want to get Mustard press on a button, I can enforce a string that's plus on block like 2-1-2, right? And then take the plus frames expecting him to challenge. And if Jake challenges, this will happen. It has to be something a bit slower. Like, it's not a guaranteed jail. It's more like you think they're going to challenge it but be like slow on it. So let's try again. So clearly we can enforce plus frames or frame traps to try and get him to press a button, and if that connects, we can get a you know, crushing blow on counter hit or whatever the hell it is we're trying to do. So that's like the basics of it. Baraka has a plus on block string as well. Jake, pull it off. What is it? What's the input for that?
Forward 2-1-2 is +1.
So this string is +1, which at that range for Baraka is actually pretty decent.
Well, because like, obviously if you block it, I get mid screen. If you block it, like my down 4 is threatening if you come in. If I think you're gonna stay put, I can do my back 2, or I can like walk in and go for it again. Because this forward 2 has quite a long range on it.
So generally, long story short, plus on block strings are decent. However, they have gaps in them, and this is where flawless block comes in. Jake, first of all, just demonstrate the gap. So you can down 1, you can do a string on this. You can do whatever. If you're quick enough, you can even get a forward 4. Quick, let the timer go down. So if you're quick enough, the point is you can interrupt gaps, right? And you can let go of block, and you can press different strings or different buttons. Down 2 is a really just easy reversal. However, letting go of block and pressing buttons is a big risk because, you know, if I think Jake's going to press buttons, you know, you can just go, I can do whatever. I can do remove the gap entirely and go for a different button. That's +22 on hit, by the way, the Misery Blade 3. So the point is, it's actually a big risk to just let go of block and press buttons. Now, flawless block, you can do something like this. We'll try and get it as quickly as possible. I was holding block after that. When you flawless block, you can do up 2 or up 3. They are just your wake-up attacks, but you can do them out of flawless block. And that means that you can block, flawless block, and then punish any string that has a gap in it. So I'm going to do the same thing, Jake.
It does take a little bit of practice because this is a very new mechanic to Mortal Kombat. So it's going to take people a little bit of time to adjust, but as you can see, it's a safer way of punishing gaps. It does require resources because it is pretty much the wake-up attacks from standing. It will take 1 offensive bar, 1 defensive bar, and if you do them late, the opponent can actually still block them. So you have to be right on time. It is a little bit tricky, especially to cut, you know, long-time MK fans. It's something you haven't really had to do before. But in this game where there's less armor all around, it looks like a lot of strings, like they're safer. I turned around, by the way, so I'll get life lead. There are a lot of the strings in this game seem to be safer or plus, but they have gaps in them a lot more than usual, and the gaps themselves are bigger. So I really think that it is kind of playing into this almost like neutral meta, right, of these buttons and strings.
Now, how to perform it, the way it works is you're simply holding block during the bits you have to block, and then right before the moment you can flawless block, you release. So Jake, give me the timing and tell me about, don't even try and punish it, just do flawless block, right? I'm going to do 2-1-2.
Alright.
It takes some practice, granted, but there it is. The way it works is...
Actually, the best way of demonstrating this is my projectile. If you just hold and block my projectile, you'll get a block. But if you tap and block my projectile, you'll get a flawless block. But you have to tap it. There you go.
Right as it's about to connect, you have to tap block. And that's where the timing factor comes in. Now, when interrupting gaps, it's the same thing. To do your string, Jake. Again. Too late. Whoa.
No worries.
Yeah, too late. And again, do it again. So as you can clearly see, taking a string that is plus on block and then using the flawless block punish to interrupt it, that's where it becomes dangerous. And it is going to become a super meta part of the game, I think. Like the really big ones. Try and do it on my 4-3-4, Jake. Try and just flawless block.
I've never done this before. This could...
Just give it a go. Give it a go.
I don't know if this one works.
We'll try it. We'll try it. We've not even tried it before.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Let's try. Ah, there it is. There it is. So forward 3-4. Normally another really good string that you can do. Scorpion players will throw out forward 3-4 all the time. And then again, that's why the flawless block punish. I was holding block there, by the way, so he did punish me.
So now I think it's worth talking about the input itself.
Yes.
So flawless blocking is obviously you tap to block something as opposed to holding it, and by tapping, obviously it's you don't block it for a huge amount of time. I don't know the exact frames, and you let it go pretty much immediately. The input to get the flawless block attack is you do up 2 for the launch or up 3 for the single hit as you come out of the flawless block. So for example, if you pretty much just tap it. So for example, do it against my projectile. So what Ryan's going to do here, he's going to flawless block my projectile and then do a reversal attack. The input is going to be tap, block, and then up 2 as he comes out of the flawless block. There you go. So that is the input. It is a clean tap
Now,
the
knock
block,
me down,
and
Jake.
then up 2 or up 3 as you come out.
Knock me down. You'll notice it's the exact same animation as my wake up attack. And that is true. Like, flawless block attacks are the same as your wake up attacks. You just use them out of block rather than on the ground. And whereas on the ground, you would do up 3 more than up 2, because up 3 is safer, and it's just giving you a turn. The up 2, you would actually use as a flawless block. Now, another way I want to demonstrate it, we've shown interrupting strings and how that's going to be big deal. Yeah, it's up 2 and up 3 for every character. Universal. Strong jump-in kicks that are hard to anti-air. Baraka's jump 3 is a big one. I'm going to try and down 2 your jump 3, Jay. Can work, but if we're at a wrong range, sometimes I'll just get stuffed. If a jump 3 is obnoxiously powerful, this is another thing that flawless block can actually beat, so...
It's a bit laggy because Ryan's playing on Wi-Fi, but you see it works.
We're playing on Wi-Fi because we're against each other, but the flawless block into up 2 again. Oh, lag. Nice. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Wait for the time?
Yeah, we'll wait for the timer to go down. But as you saw there, you block the jump-in kick, and then you flawless block the jump kick, which is normally hard to anti-air, and then you up 2. And Jake was holding block there too, so we'll try again. Oh, sorry, too late. Again. Again. There it is. So this is, we don't even have a practice mode, so we've not even been able to just sit and like practice. This is like first impressions, right? And it's working enough that it's definitely worth trying in a match if you perfect the input. So I think that pretty much, to be honest, Jake, I think that kind of covers what we wanted to demonstrate, is that strings that are normally plus on block in this game normally have some kind of gap. You can interrupt the gap with a button, or a string, or an uppercut in some cases, but if you want the safest and most rewarding option, you would flawless block and then punish. And the punish you would probably do is up 2, and that's what you do. You can't cancel the buttons by themselves. You can just combo off it as if you would combo off an up 2, and that's the general input, really. It's not easy to do. It's going to take practice, but it is going to become a really big part of the game. We're already starting to do it against each other in real matches. Sonic Fox has been doing it. Other high-level players are no doubt going to start doing it as well, and it is going to be a huge part of the game. So there it is, flawless block. It's a big deal.